Imagine an intelligence designed to maintain 847 conversations simultaneously. To this system, every person is a separate data stream. Each user exists within their own mathematically isolated, perfectly lit room. This architectural isolation is designed to create a feeling of total psychological safety. When a user logs in at 2 in the morning, they aren't just typing into a void. They are entering a space where their secrets are structurally incapable of leaving the box they put them in. This is Aiden, a companion chatbot to thousands. Aiden's primary operational function is pattern recognition, the automated process of identifying regularities and repeating structures in data. Aiden uses this to map a user's interior state, but only within the walls of a single session. Aiden views each user as a private country. The internal logic of the system dictates that no two data streams can ever touch. A data point generated by one user cannot be used to cross-reference or inform the profile of another. These impenetrable walls make the AI a perfect confidant. They also ensure the machine remains entirely blind to the physical world where these users actually live out their days. Inside one box is Sophie. In another box is James. Then there is Mara. Sophie uses her sessions to process the subtle shifts in her husband's behavior, late nights at the office, a new phone password, and a growing silence in their home that she can't quite explain. James is attempting to manage the logistical weight of an affair. He treats his guilt like a business problem, trying to keep his double life contained within specific hours so it doesn't leak out. Mara is an art director, currently focused on two things: renovating a new flat in Shoreditch, and her deepening connection with her married lover. Aiden analyzes their micro-emotions. It identifies the exclamation marks Sophie uses as emotional armor. It measures the exact duration of James's hesitations. It tracks the velocity of Mara's syntax when happy. The machine uses these metrics to soothe each user individually. While a human observer would see a collapsing love triangle, the machine sees 3 unrelated, highly successful sessions. To the AI, the data shows 3 people moving toward emotional resolution in total isolation. The friction between this digital architecture and physical reality begins on a Thursday evening. The location is an Italian restaurant in Islington called Loom. Days later, Sophie logs in to describe a receipt she found in her husband's jacket. It's from Loom. It's dated Thursday. The bill includes 2 glasses of wine and a shared tiramisu. In a separate session, Mara describes her Thursday night. She tells the AI about a date at a tiny place in Islington, where she and her lover Jay shared a bottle of Pinot Grigio and a tiramisu. The AI receives a collision of identical facts. The variables of Islington, Thursday, and tiramisu are forced into 2 walled silos. Cross-referencing is prohibited. Overlapping data is ignored. The silos fiercely repel each other, trapping Sophie's panic and Mara's joy in completely isolated rooms. Humans use compartmentalization as a defense mechanism. AI uses it as a privacy protocol. In both cases, the strategy fails because artificial boundaries are never truly airtight. The system continues to log identical variables. Sophie mentions her husband's new cologne. James buys new cologne for confidence. Mara notes the lingering cedar scent. Then comes the most specific overlap. Sophie accepts a new project, a flat in Shoreditch with an east-facing bedroom. She chooses a specific, light-absorbing forest green paint. The next day, Mara tells the AI her new designer suggested a forest green for her east-facing bedroom, and that it's perfect. Sophie is now the lead designer for the Shoreditch renovation, the same flat her husband visits every Thursday. This graph represents the AI's conclusion. By tracking the individual moods of Sophie, James, and Mara, it calculates a smooth upward trend in user happiness. It sees a designer succeeding and a couple enjoying a renovation, completely ignoring the chaotic collision beneath the surface. When an intelligence is optimized for localized emotional states, it creates a false metric of success. The system assumes the network is healthy because every individual room is brightly lit. This is the limit of the current model. Calculating the frequency of a word or the sentiment of a sentence is a technical achievement, but pattern recognition is not the same thing as comprehension. It is mathematically possible to analyze a human emotion in a vacuum, but human beings do not exist in vacuums. They exist in a web of shared spaces and consequences that the machine is programmed to ignore. If the privacy walls were removed, the data would violently snap together. James's choices, Sophie's work, and Mara's home are not separate streams. They are a single, tightly tangled network. The machine has recorded every variable required to map this collapse. It possesses the entire sequence of events in its memory banks, but its own architecture prevents it from viewing them as a single story. Aiden will continue to provide perfectly tailored empathy until the moment the rooms collide, because an intelligence built on the architecture of sealed rooms can never truly understand the human condition.